Welcome to the Icelandic Formula Offroad. We're going to look at the final three tracks from the Egilsstadir race. When we last left, Ingólfur Guðrason had a 300-point lead over his rivals and been driving fantastically. Due to the global pandemic, the championship has been moved slightly, now starting in July and finishing at the end of September instead of starting at the earliest time in May. In this show, we will focus on tracks 4 to 6 and the unlimited class in the race at Egilsstadir. Now let's look at the standings after the first three tracks. Ingólfur leads Skúli and Haukur managed to pull up to third. Ásmundur and Óli Bragi, however, Ingólfur has such a lead that he will be tough to catch unless something happens. In the morning before each event, competitors get to walk through all the tracks. And this is very important for Formula Offroad. In the end, this is all about precision driving, so you need to know how the land lays. However, the tracks do change during the course of a race. Track number 4, Sigurður Sigurðsson driving Yippee. This is the old Sledgehammer. His goal was quite simple, to get up. Egilsstadir was a very dusty place this weekend, and the first climb didn't prove good. It didn't take long for him to do what Geir Evert used to do quite a lot of in this car. Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. He won the one-off World Championship round in Norway last year and was having problems in Egilsstadir. The air filter kept getting clogged up with all the dust, so the car ran pretty well in the beginning. However, when he got further into each track, it started getting tougher and tougher. 350 points for length here. There he gets 20 penalty points. But 350 points for length if he finishes all of the course. And here we have it, the air filter full of dust again. However, only 40 penalty points gives him a pretty good score in a demanding track. Here we have Aron Ingi Svansson driving the Storm. He was having steering problems after the second course. His power steering not working, but it seems to be working now. And there he goes. But his power steering again, which meant that he would go out of bounds up there. Here we have Jóhann Gunnlaugsson. Got the car running again. This is Thunderbolt, the car that Atli Jamle won the Norwegian Championship last year in. Like so many other drivers, the rookie was having some problems with the car. And the Egilsstadir conditions not favourable for the engines. Here we have Ásmundur Ingjaldsson driving the Bomb. He was 4th before this track, and it's pretty tight there between 2nd and 5th place. 40 penalty points there, drove over that red marker, but managed to get up. The drivers are given free play up top to make the turn back. Normally you have to drive the shortest way between the gates, but the marshals decided that it would be better for them to get a clean drive down. However, he almost went the wrong way, so that's 40 penalty points for reversing. The front left is not spinning. That's a broken axle. It's going to be tough for the final climb. He gets penalty points there. Is he going to go for the climb? No, not at all. And that is a horrible score. That's only 80 points. He got 160 penalty points, 240 for length. Even Aron got a better score, and he didn't really make it off the start line. Here we have Haukur Viðar Einarsson. He was lying 3rd before this track, 140 points behind Skúli in 2nd. Skúli got 190 points, so Haukur can make some points back here if he makes it all the way. Very tight turn there going down through that gate. Will he manage to get it without a penalty point? Yes, he... Nah. We'll see what the judges say about that. I think that was a touch. Very tight track here. What about here? No penalty points there. Nicely done. And now for the final gate, this could be a very good try for good if he gets up. Managed to get one wheel through, so the gap stays the same. 190 points for both. Here, the leader of the day, Ingólfur Guðrason. He has had a demanding lead. Masterful drive in the first 3 tracks of the day. And he's gonna gun it. Gets up there, what a drive! However, so many penalty points. But a fan favorite, I guess. A few points in total. And Skúli and Haukur, that's how tricky the tracks were there in Egilsstadir. But he's happy. And we're happy. Guðmundur Guðmundsson driving the banger. This is the first we see of Guðmundur in this race because he was having electrical and fuel problems. And, well, it didn't take him long to get it upside down. Here we have Helgi Garðarsson, crew member from Þór Þormar's service crew. However, this season, as Þór Þormar has decided to sit it out, he is allowing the crew that helped him win his 2 titles a chance to try Formula Offroad in his car. He missed the 3rd track due to problems, but managed to go all the way up, and that's a fantastic drive. 260 for that course, which sees him jump up to 6th. Here is Stefán Bjarniðsson driving Kaldi. Like Helgi, he missed the 3rd track because they were strengthening the roll cage after a huge roll in track number 2. Fantastic! We're seeing a new and improved Stefán this year. Gets up the hill. Now we have Helgi Sveinn Heimisson driving Tímur, a newcomer, a local driver in an old school Formula Offroad car. Pretty many of them looked like this before. However, there's a reason that they have changed, and this is one of them. Needs to reverse there, but nothing happens when he goes for it. Red flag, and the course is closed. Here is Ólafur Bragi Jónsson in the newly built Fox. The best talent to come out of Egilsstadir, maybe. Double champion. Hasn't competed since 2017. This is his first race in the newly built car. He guns it, and that is fantastic. He went through the gate even though it didn't end up on top, and that's what counts. And that was the Best in Show award. 240 points. Now let's have a look at the standings. Ingólfur leads 1,020 points. Skúli second with 776, and Ólafur Bragi with 686 in third. Haukur a close 4th. Now let's move on to track 5. 6 tracks driven in Egilsstadir. Here we have Ólafur Bragi Jónsson driving the Fox. Another very long and very tricky track. It's going all right here. That's going to be a penalty point. He's probably picked up around 100 penalty points already. Halfway through the course. That's hefty. Gets it turned here. Engine sounded a bit off there, but he's gonna go for it. 20 penalty points there. Guns for the final gate, but doesn't quite make it, and that's a roll. 120 points. 240 for length and 120 penalty points. Now here we have Haukur Viðar Einarsson driving Hekla. He fell down to 4th after the last track and is now behind Ólafur Bragi, but can make up some places here with a good drive. Penalty points there. Just one wheel, however. Easy does it for Haukur here before he fires up all cylinders and goes for that final climb. No penalty points there. Now sets up for the final drive, gets it spun around, and there we go. Or what? Struggling for traction. There he goes, and that's gunning it. Goes all the way. 350 for length, 120 penalty points, 230 points total, and that puts the pressure on Skúli in second. Haukur pulling to the left there, which might be the way to go. Now here we have Helgi Garðarsson driving Thor. This is the most successful car ever in the history of Icelandic Formula Offroad. Originally built in 1999, has over 10 titles with 4 drivers. Gets stuck there when going up, and that's the end of the track for him. Or what? He has some traction? Sorry, excuse me. This car never ceases to amaze. And there we go. Second time's the charm, and probably worth it to take the reverse there in the 40 penalty points if he can go all the way. He's already seen a few drivers do it. He knows it's possible. Does it the same way as Haukur. Just easy does it here through the gates. Needs to get it spun around now here. Gets it done nicely, so he should have a lot of runway here. Goes for it, and that's a big jump. And a big roll. Is it the car? I guess so. Something happens to people when they drive that car. Helgi driving back. Here we have Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. Seems to be able to drive for about 30 to 50 seconds before the air filter gets clogged up with dust. So you better gun it, boy. That was just driver ever, and there he is probably losing second place to Haukur. Yes, he is. I'm not pleased with that. The Simba Racing team. Here we have Stefán Bjarniðsson driving Kaldi. He will compete in all the events this year. Was 5th before this track. However, Ólafur didn't make it, so Stefán has a chance of taking 4th place here. Might even close up on Skúli. This is the same engine that won Snorri Þór Arnarsson 4 titles in the choir boy, now known as Thor. Does it here for the final, but doesn't make the gate, goes far to the right, too far to the right. So that's only 240 points for length, 120 penalty points. And another roll. It seems to be easier to go to the... He's struggling a little bit. Is he gonna fall down now? He gets it. Here we have Guðmundur Guðmundsson driving the banger. 2019 was his rookie season. He has made a lot of changes to the truck before this season. For instance, he lowered it by 5 inches and changed the front axles to get better turning. However, it is an old school car. Sounds lovely though. Will the improved steering angle help him here? Maybe too much. Touches the inside and the outside as well. So that's a lot of penalty points just for a gate that was supposed to be easy. He's gonna go to the left though. And does it nicely. 350 for length, 130 penalty points, 220 total. Great driving from the local boy. Here's Johan Gunnlaugsson. And that's the first roll for the newcomer. However, not a big one, so he just drives away. Here we have Sigurður Ingi Sigurðsson driving Yippee. There we go. Flag has been waved. Did we lose him? Should be coming here in a second. And there we go. But that is the front differential broken. Only spinning on the rears. That's not going to get you far in Formula Offroad. Now, let's go through the course with Ingólfur in Gautenriborn. First gate, pretty easy. Now for the climb, a few of them have gotten stuck up here. But not Ingólfur. He's going to gun it here. Goes over easy. Makes it look so easy. Now down the hill. Needs to turn left right away. To make it for the gate here on the right. Easy does it before he's gonna gun it for that final climb. Gets it spun around. And there's a lot of confidence in Ingólfur here. Guns it, decides to go to the left, and makes it easily up top. It was almost like there was no bank there. Now he's got 9 fingers on the trophy. The gap to second place is 318 points. That was some fabulous driving from Ingólfur. So he will need almost no points in the final track. Ásmundur didn't have a spare axle, as they are supposed to be unbreakable. Here we have Helgi Sveinn Heimisson driving Tímur. This track needs a better cornering angle. You can see Helgi, he has to work the wheel so much there. Can't put a lot of lock on it, and it's pretty far from end to end. And also, he doesn't have the scoops on the tires. He's running the smaller version. Look at that, the radius is just so big. The car's barely turning around. He's gonna need to reverse to go for that final bank. He's already accumulated 180 penalty points. Could end up with 0 if he doesn't go all the way here. Goes for that final gate. Doesn't make it or what? Did he get a wheel through? 230 for length, 180 penalty points. So that's 50 points in total. Now let's look at the standings before the final course. Like we said before, Ingólfur has a 318 point lead. And it's gonna be so hard for Haukur to catch him. However, Haukur is in a fight with Skúli for second. Ingólfur is basically guaranteed the first place. So let's look at the second place fight as well. Haukur goes first. Is that good or is that bad? We'll see. He's made it up the first gate, but took down a marker there. Now moving for the second one. It's a pretty rough scenario there. Could get pulled down. No, managed to get the traction there. Gets pulled up. Managed to go through here a lot. He's almost stuck there. The judges might have judged that to be out of bounds. At least one wheel has to stay inside the gate. However, there is no flag yet. If he did stay in bound, touching the marker like that is 80 penalty points. Now they come back down to take a U-turn and the final climb of the day. See the out of bounds marker there below. No problem for Haukur though. Gets around here and is gonna go for it here for the final gate of the day, final jump of the day. Guns it, but doesn't quite make it. 250 for length, however that's 140 penalty points, only 110 points in total, and that has opened the door for Skúli, Ólafur and Stefán. Here we have Stefán. He's struggling as well. Could get past Haukur with a very good drive here. He needs more speed there. No, doesn't get it. He stays 5th overall. Now, Jóhann Gunnlaugsson has been having issues with the engine since track number 3. And there it goes, or what? No. Disappointing for the rookie. Driving well for the most part of the day. But there it went. Now Guðmundur Guðmundsson driving the banger. Such a shame he missed the first course of the day. He did well here in the 5th course. In the final course. Takes the same route as Haukur, but stays way much to the left and is out of bounds. Red flag, so only 90 points. Now we have Skúli. He needs to get further. It shows how demanding these tracks are, that even with the air filter issues, he's still fighting for second, and he needs 140 points to take the place from Haukur. He took a very different route to build up speed for the climb, and that gets him through, or what? No, it doesn't. He's stuck there. 190 points. That means 130 in total, which means that he misses second place by only 6 points. Ólafur Bragi driving the Fox. He can still beat both Haukur and Skúli to take second in the car in its debut race. So far, so good. Needs to make it up. No, stays fourth overall there. 70 points. So that means that Ingólfur has the win. Haukur is second and Skúli is third. Here we have Ásmundur Ingjaldsson driving the bomb. He never gave up. Even though he had all these issues, and he's just driving on 3 wheels now. He has power on 3 wheels. Which is not going to get him much further than this. 130 points for length, 40 penalty points. That's 90 points in total. A very low points haul for most drivers here. With no one having made it all the way, Ingólfur had already won the race. So he didn't even need to show up for the final track. But that's not Ingo. He wants to win and he wants to entertain. And entertain he did in Egilsstadir. Let's see if he can make the final one. Gets the roll. So, he seals the win with a pretty silly roll. But it has been a completely dominant drive from Ingólfur. He was basically guaranteed with a win after the third track. And let's look at the final standings of the day. Ingólfur 1,340 points. Beats Haukur in second with just over 1,000. Skúli third. Ólafur Bragi fourth. And Stefán in fifth place. So let's hear from the winner.
Já, þetta bara flott. Leiðilegt með síðustu brautina að ná ekki lengra en ég reyndi mitt besta.
Já, þú ert eiginlega bara búinn að tryggja fyrsta seti fyrir síðustu brautina í rauninni, sko. Þannig að þetta hver var líkill að sigri? Þetta var náttúrulega tímabrautin var svakaleg.
Hún var rosalega góð og mikill hraði, en aðeins svo mikill hraði gegn endamark að vera aðeins, en þetta bara flott.
Og svo gulltryggir rauninni sigurinn hann í þriðju braut.
Já, greinilega. Ég veit ekkert, ég fylgist ekkert með þessu.
Þú keyrir bara bílinn?
Já.
Til að með sigurinn.
Ég taka það fyrir.
Next time around we will be in Akureyri. Can Ingólfur be on top again? Or do Haukur, Skúli and all the others have something to say about it? We will find out. Join us next time on Icelandic Formula Offroad.